Hello, friends, and today is a day to discuss something really important, and that is, yes, storytelling in data science or machine learning. So, let us first understand why this storytelling is really important in data science. It really is very important because it is a crux, it gives a real decent justification to your real hard work that you have put into your project. And if it is communicated well enough, your hard work is well served. So, when you think of story, what is the thing that really comes in your mind first? So, for me, it was when I thought of it, it was if I say it is okay, let me guide you through the childhood. So, when you think of stories, you think of your childhood because this is when you can relate it to the stories. And what I would say that these stories are really important because they are a powerful tool to communicate something which is filled with emotions, which is filled with a real essence and which we take as a child. We can resonate with the characters, we resonate with the emotions, we cry, we laugh, and we feel good. I used to resonate a lot, and maybe most of us do, or you, I don't know. But stories have a real impact on our consciousness. Stories really have a deep impact, and that's why they hold the key, that's why they are so powerful. And we used to rush to our parents and grandparents to hear these stories. Why? Because they were so interesting, because there were so many characters, and they had the different qualities and roles to play, and they played their part well, and we used to learn from these characters also, and they really influence even now. What are the movies? They are stories, and they create that powerful impact on our consciousness even now. So it is not just about reading stories to your kids or narrating some old stories, but it is all about stories. This world is all about stories, and you buy the story which you like. So why not just replicate this thing or leverage this thing in data science? And how do you leverage this storytelling, this powerful tool in data science? Let's discuss this. So bringing this storytelling into data science is forms three key concepts which we'll be discussing here. The first one is audience, the second is message, and the third is the structure. There are many other essential elements, but all these things is a crux. So we can just discuss and boil it down into these three important main points. So just let's come to the audience part first. Audiences. Most important thing is audience. They will decide the content, the way to represent, and what to present, and in which language to present. So, if I am, suppose, let's take an example and understand this thing. If I am presenting my story to a medical professional, and they happen to be doctors, and they are not into data science field, okay? So this is a prerequisite or precondition that I'm already telling you that this is what my audience is. Now I have to communicate the results of my finding, my model, to them. How would I communicate? I cannot tell them the precision and recall of the model is 0.99, and so I will not choose this model, or I will choose this model because it has got a good recall at 0.99. They will not understand this thing. I have to frame my results, my communication into a language which can be easily understood by these doctors. So how would I just craft my story in such a way so that they are fascinated by it? So I would say that doctors are next to God, and every life counts for a doctor. In medical profession and medical ethics, this has been given great advantage and great importance. So why lose a life? And this model, we have got a model which will help you save each and every life. And then I can go about explaining that how you can save life. You even want certain cases to be diagnosed. If you have certain cases that your that you get to know that they are wrongly predicted, and I can take preventive measures for that, and I know that few cases are being resolved rightly, and I can be rest assured. So the stakeholders involved in this medical professions, especially the patients, their life could be really changing, life changing decisions doctors can make in their life. So this is really very important. So you address these issues, these stakeholders involved, and what is the likely impact about your decisions, about your model. And that would make a real difference. Your data, numbers have to be represented and framed into a story to your respective audience. So this was a case about doctors, the professionals. Now suppose if I'm communicating to a management side, I will communicate in a different manner. I would use some marketing, some HR, some financial information to communicate my results. If I'm dealing with data science community, I don't have to put in so much of effort. I can simply use recall, precision, accuracy, Evans score, different models, different classifiers, and life is easy for us. But it is not so, because we are interacting with the real world and we need to have a language, and that has to be shifted according and played with according to different professions. So now moving on to the next content, and that was the message. I have already covered this message in the audiences because it has to be crafted according to the audience. So message is the purpose of communicating the story. This has to be very clear. And once it is there, you are like this. If you can see in this picture, it is like, yes, I've done it. So it is like a real win-win situation for all of us, and we feel that it is just just we've just done it. It's like, yes, our message has been communicated, and the result is really far-reaching, because if you get the message right to the right audience, you are done. You don't have to worry about anything, right? So now moving on to the last content, and that is the structure, the flow of your content, of your story. So how it should be, it should be in a logical order, in a logical sequence. It has to be in such a format which makes everything in a link. You have to link things. It cannot be abrupt. People should relate. They can, so that they can relate to your story. They can, you know, kind of connect with you. You have to make that connection with your audiences, and this is structure, this story will help them do so. The another thing is that when you are ending your story, you have to have conclusion, suggestions, or scope, so that they you give them a vision. That is what makes it more powerful. When you are ending with something so that they can work upon, they can work around the solutions or the scope that you provide, and that would really yield good results, because they have something to work upon. You're giving them a solution, you become a solution provider. You become a solver, and they will approach you again and again, because you are giving them practical solutions to their problem. So give them solutions, give them suggestions, give them conclusions, a vision to look upon, a vision so that they can foresee things, how to really make impact and decisions in business world. This is what the power of story is, and this is what lies in each of our hand if we are really into data science community, because this is what is needed after having the results, communicating the results to the different stakeholders involved. So now I will come to the ending part of it, that if you have to communicate, if you have to come to this step of communicating data science stories, then you have to practice, present, and you have to share these stories with people, so that you practice more and more, and you become just as good as everybody, as good as experts and people that we see. They are great. So now this just brings me to the end of this video, and thanks for watching, and thank you.